How's it going, everyone? I hope you're having a fantastic day. In today's video I'm going to be making a Festival Mainstage Break. This is going to be a follow-up video to one of my previous uploads titled How to Make a Festival Mainstage Drop. But in this video it's going to be a break, so it's going to be a good one. So I hope you enjoy it. Smash the like button, subscribe if you're new here, and let's get straight into this.
Let's go.
So to start with, I'm going to be using this sound from Dune 2. It's from the freshly squeezed sound bank. It's the first ARP. It's called ARP Blissful. Most arpeggiators just have a natural melody as made inside the plugin, but this one allows you to make chords, so I can play 3 notes here, which is very nice. So I've come up with this chord progression here. We're working in the key of F minor. We're going down the scale from F to D sharp to C sharp, and then we make a small adjustment in the final 4 bars to a B flat chord, which just makes a small variation. So overall, these ARP chords sound like this. Which sounds very nice, and this is the variation chord. So now we have the basic chord structure going. We can start adding more layers, adding more plucks, a couple more sounds, 5 or so more sounds. I'm going to show you what I come up with, and then we can move on. So this is what I have so far. We have 6 layers here. We have a chord ARP, we have a choir from Nexus, plucked chords from Dune 2, a low synth drone, another pluck from Dune 2, and a respace. So we're going to go through each individual sound right now. So the plucked chords are from Dune 2. Next we have a choir from Nexus. Next we have some more plucked chords from Dune 2. One thing I really like about Dune 2's presets is that they come with a nice huge reverb and delay. So if I do turn it off, as you can see on the mix bus, all I have is a sound goodizer and an EQ. So all the reverb and the delay is coming from the plugin itself, and they sound really nice, so I keep it on. And some nice sidechain delay on there as well. Next we have this low synth drone. It's a simple preset I made. It's very, very basic. It's just an initial preset with a saw wave with 4 voices, slightly detuned. Same again on the second oscillator, 4 voices, slightly less detuned, not as much. Then we lower the first one down 2 octaves, the second one down 1 octave, and then we add a low pass filter here. And then some very, very subtle overdrive distortion, a very high amount, quite a low dry wet signal. And then we cut off some of the sub frequencies because we don't want this to clash with the respace. And it also fills up a nice low end in the first 8 bars of the break. Then we have the main melody. This is a very nice pluck from Dune 2 again called Purified. There's a very, very huge reverb with a nice delay, so I keep it on. And then finally we have a respace. This is a very basic sound from Spire. It's in the Factory Bank 1 and it's called Bass Kung Fu. Maurice West, Ollie James uses this a lot. It's a very nice basic factory preset to use. And the processing is very basic because, like I said, most of the delay and effects are come from the plugins. So the simple OTT and EQ cutting off the low end and all these sounds. Choir we have a sound goodizer, and on the pluck chords we have a sound goodizer as well. And the respace we have just a simple EQ. So now overall I'm going to play these 16 bars and then we can move on to the next part. So we've added a few extra layers here, not too many, just to fill up the mix a bit more, add a bit more rhythm to it. So I've added this reverse pluck here. I'd also like to point out that it gives it a different feel, more darker feel. And then I've also added this vocal atmosphere here. That adds an incredible amount of atmosphere and just fills up the mix nicely. And I've also added this rain here from Kashmir. Very basic stuff. And then we've added 2 basic claps. We've added a sweep clap. I just made a unique and just reversed it. And some Cashmere drop claps just to fill up the mix a bit more with the reverb tail on it. Very nice. And then we have some just simple effects here, a sweep, a small reverse crash and an impact. So now we can move on to the Supersaw climax and add some big supersaws and leads. But first I'm just going to play the last 8 bars just to show you what it would lead up to into the big climax. As you can see as well, before we move on, I've added a fruity balance on the master just to do a nice automation clip here to shut off the last beat of that bar. And then we'll have some big impacts here and that will lead nicely into the next section. So this is what I've come up with for the Supersaw climax. We have quite a few layers here. We have 3 supersaws and a Supersaw reverb carry to clean up the reverb. Same with the leads, we have 3 leads and a reverb carry for the lead. We have a simple saw bass and a sub bass, and we've also added this vocal air from Kashmir and Dallas K from their track Burn. Kept the claps going and then just added some small impacts and exhausts, white noise to fill up the mix a bit more. So I've also got a reverb automation here. This is a trick Sabers do a lot. It's a very nice reverb effect. So let's go through each layer first. Let's start with Supersaw 1. Very, very powerful Supersaw. This is from Silent New Year chord, so this is WW's other alias. This is a very nice preset. Go through to the next one, which is Supersaw 2. Nexus 3, big saw chords from EDM 5. And this is from Hardwell's Silent 1 bank. This is called Supersaw 1. A good thing I like to point out with Supersaws, they are not all playing the same MIDI. This is the first one. If I go to the second one, you'll see it's not identical to this. Inverted to chord, so they're different. And same with this one, I've added extra layers here and there just to fill out the whole spectrum. Yeah, just fill out the sound a bit more. And then with the reverb carry and all of them sounding together, sound like this. Which sounds very nice. Now if I show you the mix chain, you'll be surprised there's not a lot going on there. There's just simple EQs on each one. OTTs, S1 stereo imaging from Waves, just making it a little more wider. And then the actual bus is just an OTT, EQ, no offset character, the glue, and the transient processor from FL itself. Just boosting the attack knob, just to make it a little more clicky at the beginning of each note. It makes it punch through the mix a bit more. And like I showed you in my mixing leads video, I linked this to a new bus with a reverb. And then this is another reverb, which is the automation one. And then a delay, which I need to turn back on, which sounds like this. Lead 1 sounds like this. And this is a lead from Silent called MH lead. Next we have another one. This is from the local recordings sound bank. This is called Feel It lead 4. And again, lead 3 is also from the local recording sound bank. Altogether they sound like this with the reverb carry. I've got the exact same reverb preset that I use on the chord, so that the reverb is all the same, and then the only thing we have is a novel tech character and an EQ and a reverb. So very, very basic sounds. Sometimes you don't need a huge mix chain to make a powerful sound, so yeah, just keep that in mind. Next we have a saw bass, which again is just a simple preset I've made. It's just literally just an initialized saw preset with just a low pass filter pitched down 2 octaves. Very gritty sounding, but it gets the job done. And then finally we have a Reese bass, which is the same one from the break. It's just boosted a bit more on the low end. Just a bit more aggressive, and I've also turned the cutoff down a bit more to give room for the saw. And then this vocal atmosphere continues on with that vocal air from Kashmir, and then just some simple effects. It's just a crowd exhaust and a regular white noise exhaust. So I'm going to play through what they sound like overall. So with a basic mix and some simple layers, you can get a very big sound. And then to end off, I've just added a simple fab filter Simplon on both the leads group and the Supersaw group, just to make it a little softer on the ears when it comes to the end of the first 8 bars of the Supersaw. So then you could transition into a little 8-bar bridge, and then you can go into a build up and a drop. And yeah, that is pretty much it. So I hope you enjoyed, stay safe, and I'll speak to you all very, very soon. Have a wonderful day and take care.